The most popular female athlete in the country got a signature shoe, and I don't. White people, signature shoe. Black people, no signature shoe. I mean, look, if it's out there, someone will claim racist. Nike, the wokest of the woke, they decided to bend the knee. That's right. They're giving Asia Wilson.
So Nike finally released their trailer for Caitlin Clark's sneaker. They finally did. And a lot of people thought that when Nike were talking up, they were going to be, talking up like Caitlin might have been getting her signature shoe. They might have been talking up potentially Caitlin getting that signature shoe. And it would have been really cool if Caitlin got her signature shoe. But let's be real, that was never happening. That was never, ever, ever happening. Caitlin was not getting that signature shoe. However, at least we saw something. We saw something from Nike about her PE.
Have you ever witnessed a moment so spicy, so unexpected, it makes the group chat explode before breakfast? Yeah, that just happened. 1 second, Caitlin Clark's out here dropping a Nike ad smoother than a crossover. The next, Aja Wilson's face could curdle almond milk. What was in that ad? A secret diss? A power move? A WNBA Civil War starter pack? Whatever it is, it's got everyone losing it. And we're diving right into the chaos.
So long to get something from Nike on Caitlin Clark. How long has it been? Has it been a year, a full year for us to get something on Caitlin Clark that is specific to Caitlin Clark? And they do it hand in hand with the drop of the new sneaker that she has, for which I'm going to include in this conversation, because let's be real. Nike has dropped the ball incredibly when it comes to anything and everything related to Caitlin Clark, including the situation at hand in dealing with Caitlin Clark's marketing, her sneaker.
Aja Wilson was having a regular Tuesday. Protein shake, light shoot around, maybe a motivational quote reposted with passive-aggressive energy, until Caitlin Clark's new Nike ad dropped like a meteor on her mood. 1 minute she's scrolling, next minute she's staring at her phone like it personally insulted her vertical leap.
Not only did she receive the most all-star votes, she also had a signature Nike shoe release with her patented colorway on there, her Caitlin Clark edition. A lot of basketball fans got this message, and a lot of sneaker fans know what this message is all about. Thank you for joining the draw for the Kobe V Proto. Unfortunately, it didn't work out this time. That means you didn't get selected. And you think, damn, they mass-produced Nikes. Why I didn't select them? Because they were all sold out worldwide within 1 minute. Enough said, case closed. She's the GOAT of the WNBA. And she hasn't won shit yet. No, I can't forget my girl Angel Reese. She balled out in LA. Looking at her last 4 games, she been hearing what y'all been saying. So y'all get up off.
Whatever zen Aja had cultivated that day evaporated faster than the league's objectivity around anything Clark related. Her face did that thing elite athletes do when their legacy suddenly feels like it's being traded in for a TikTok highlight. This wasn't your run-of-the-mill sneaker commercial with slow-motion dunks and generic empowerment voiceovers.
Caitlin Clark continues to set records, continues to be transcendent, and continues to transform the women's sports landscape day by day, contract by contract. And this time, it's no different. Nike gives Caitlin Clark an 8-year, $28 million contract, being the most lucrative shoe deal in women's basketball history. If I'm Adidas, if I'm Puma, if I'm Under Armour, I'm ashamed with some of the numbers that I threw Caitlin Clark's direction.
No, Caitlin's ad strutted in like it had a private entrance and its own red carpet. Cinematic angles, edgy lighting, minimalist elegance with a side of Midwestern sass. It was like if Apple launched a WNBA superstar instead of a phone. And somewhere in the montage, Caitlin basically baptized herself the future of basketball without even breaking a sweat. Subtlety, optional. Swagger, unlimited data.
Paige Becker's already got a PE. Jewel Lloyd's got multiple. A lot of people have gotten PEs from Nike, but it's good to see Caitlin finally get one. So here is the trailer from Nike. I'm going to mute it for now because there might be copyright music. Caitlin Mamba.
Because here's the truth. This wasn't just a promo. This was Nike planting a very shiny, very sharp flag right in the center of the league's spotlight. It didn't just endorse Caitlin Clark, it practically handed her the WNBA crown, stitched her initials in gold on it, and dared anyone else to ask for a fitting. every frame screamed, "The future is here." Translation, everyone else, move or get moved. Cut to Aja Wilson sitting on her couch, mid-sip of green juice when her eyes hit the screen. And boom, complete emotional power outage. The slight jaw clench, the subtle squint of, is this a prank? And that microsecond of frozen panic athletes get when they realize the league's attention span has just swiped left. She didn't have to say a word. Her expression translated across devices, betrayal, confusion, and a sprinkle of, oh, so that's how it is now. Let's be real. Nike didn't need to say anything shady, but the ad didn't just elevate Clark, it strategically forgot to acknowledge anyone else. No nods to the vets, no montage of league history, just one long, slow coronation that low-key screamed, you had your turn, now let the ratings breathe. A masterclass in silent shade. And if you blinked, you missed it. But guess who didn't blink? Aja Wilson. Not once. Not during that whole 45 seconds of passive-aggressive excellence.
We had the commercial from Nike dropped on Caitlin Clark, and some people were excited. Some people were in the middle. Some people thought it was whatever. I can tell you from my personal opinion, it was nothing to brag home about. And I'm going to talk about why I feel that way.
Meanwhile, social media caught fire like someone spiked the WNBA algorithm with lighter fluid. X turned into the Hunger Games overnight. Caitlin's the future versus show respect to the vets versus did Aja just post an IG story with a cryptic emoji? Fans started decoding timelines like they were analyzing national security footage. One comment section even turned into a sociology paper. And all it took was one Nike ad and a suspiciously well-lit slow-motion stare from Caitlin Clark. By the time the locker rooms got wind of it, you could cut the tension with a hoop earring. Aces players pretending not to care, but low-key watching the ad on loop like it owed them money. Practice drills got sharper. Elbows felt heavier. That one rookie who dared say, hey, the ad was kind of cool during warm-ups? Yeah, they're still recovering from the side eye. The league didn't just feel the shift, it was living in it. So how did we get here? Let's rewind to the Caitlin Clark origin story. Small-town charm, big-time buckets, and more NCAA highlight reels than the rest of the league combined. She entered the pros not like a rookie, but like a marketing campaign with a jump shot.
Seeing down the road, seeing the future, seeing the bubble that could potentially burst, so long as Caitlin Clark isn't a bust, this is going to be the cheapest contract in history. Nike thought they had a deal when they signed Michael Jordan to his deal. This is going to be a crazy deal just as well. She's not going to be Michael Jordan. She's not going to be transcended by Michael Jordan. But why not? Why can't it be 15 years down the road and girls are wearing Clarks? Women's are wearing CC2s and CC4s. 8 years, $28 million. Under Armour offered her 4 years, $16 million. Taking the 8-year offer, clearly she wanted something a little bit more long-term.
And the hype didn't fizzle, it compounded. The second she laced up her sneakers, advertisers saw dollar signs, and fans saw a new messiah. And now, apparently, Nike sees a one-woman brand. And let's not gloss over the petty part. The ad clearly left the old guard on red. No cameos, no respectful throwbacks, no elder stateswoman came in at the end to pass the torch, because guess what? There was no torch passing, just a giant leapfrog over the veterans while the camera panned lovingly over Clark's face like it was the Mona Lisa in motion. For Aja, that wasn't a commercial. That was a televised coup. And if you thought WNBA Twitter was chill about it, welcome to delusion. We had tweet threads, think pieces, memes, and even one person who edited Aja's face onto a Game of Thrones clip titled Queen No More. Clark stands came armed with stats, clips, and snark. Meanwhile, the Aja loyalists dropped every accolade, award, and old Nike promo they could find, like it was a defense exhibit. It wasn't a social media moment, it was digital warfare. Some fans tried to calm the storm. It's just an ad, they claimed. Like that wasn't the biggest lie, since we'll keep it casual. Ad people don't just make things, they shape narratives.
If you are hoping to get your hands on the Caitlin Clark version of Nike's Kobe Bryant sneaker, you're out of luck. They are out of stock. The WNBA star teamed up with Nike for a player edition of the Kobe 5 Pro Tro, decked out in Indiana Fever colors. You see them on your screen. They dropped at 10 a.m. Monday, and they sold out before 11 a.m. In fact, in just minutes. The $190 kicks are already showing up on the secondary market at close to double the retail price.
And Nike? They basically wrote a fairy tale, crowned a princess, and left the rest of the cast off the invitation list. But sure, Brenda, keep pretending this is about sneakers. The rest of us are watching a throne being quietly dragged to a new address. Somewhere in the chaos, someone leaked the Vegas Aces group chat. Okay, not literally, but we felt it. The shade, the receipts, the inevitable moment when one player drops the sad emoji and everything spirals. There's nothing quite like group chat drama among elite athletes, where passive aggression comes with verticals over 30 inches. You could almost hear the typing bubbles shaking with judgment. Because let's be honest, Nike didn't just drop a commercial, they dropped a grenade. Was it calculated? Duh. Nike isn't out here accidentally crowning superstars. They read the data. They saw the viral clips, the jersey sales, the way every post featuring Caitlyn breaks engagement records like glass in a toddler's hand. This wasn't favoritism. It was capitalism. Smart, cold-blooded capitalism.
I lost all respect for Aja Wilson. I don't want to hear her opinions. I don't care what she has to say from this point on. When you keep a Nike deal 2 years in secret while you're spewing all that crazy stuff about Caitlin Clark in the Time magazine, read it. Read what she said in the Time magazine. Yet you had a Nike deal the whole entire time? It's despicable. Matter of fact, I'm going to play the clip.
And Aja? She just got reminded that even MVPs can get benched by branding teams in air-conditioned boardrooms. Now go back and watch Aja's old Nike promos. Inspirational music, slow fades, motivational quotes slapped on like inspirational salad dressing. It's all very 2016. And in comparison to Caitlyn's ad, they look like they were filmed with a flip phone and a prayer. Nike's tone has shifted. Less rise above and more watch her ascend while the rest of you recalibrate. The glow up isn't just visual, it's institutional. And Caitlyn? She walks through that commercial like the league owes her a tax refund. Calm, collected, completely unfazed. Like she didn't just light a metaphorical match under every veteran's legacy. Each step she takes, each camera angle is a soft whisper of, I'm not here to fit in, I'm here to take over. The ad didn't say it, but the lighting sure did. And Aja felt every lumen of that disrespect. Naturally, the backlash arrived faster than a Gatorade cooler in a finals timeout. Suddenly, every pundit who's ever said the game is bigger than one player started dusting off their hot takes. Is Nike killing team spirit? Is this what happens when hype outpaces skill? Somewhere, a sports podcaster screamed the word narrative 17 times in a single breath. And still, the ad kept playing, quietly, confidently, smugly.
Would you look at this? Would you look at this? Seriously, y'all, I need you to look at this. What up, sneakerheads and golf friends? This is Caitlin Clark, and if you look down there, she has on a Nike Kobe 6 PE for WNBA All-Star Weekend, which is this weekend, which you should be watching, by the way. So, PEs haven't exactly been the most coveted shoes lately, and for good reason. We've been flooded with PEs, especially on the NBA side. A lot of those guys wear basically a PE every night. But on the WNBA side, I feel like that's still a market that hasn't quite been tapped yet. And taking a look at these, I think this might start a new trend.
Then came the Respect the Vets Brigade, marching into the discourse like they were holding a candlelight vigil for sportsmanship. They brought up points, stats, years of grind, which valid. But also, this is America. Hype beats history. Endorsements outrun effort. And this wasn't a Hall of Fame induction. It was a hype reel. Aja may have the rings, but Caitlyn, she's got the algorithm. Meanwhile, Caitlyn's fans were out here sipping chamomile and watching the fireworks. Every hot take, a badge of honor. Every complaint, proof of power. They didn't need to defend her. Nike already did that with a budget. And to them, Aja's frustration? Just another sign that the throne is getting new upholstery. Velvet, embroidered, and signed by a Nike executive. Because here's the thing everyone's pretending not to admit. Nike didn't bet on Caitlyn because she's nice. They bet on her because she sells. Period. Her jersey moves like hotcakes at a pancake convention. Her clips go viral before breakfast. And when she enters the room, the cameras don't just follow. They beg. Business doesn't care about tenure. It cares about traction. And Caitlyn's got it in spades. So of course she hasn't earned it crowd came running, screaming about dues, about longevity, about one good season not being enough. All while ignoring the one cold, unshakable truth. None of that matters when you're the face people want to watch.
And by the way, I know she doesn't have a signature shoe, but this is the first time in 5 years that there is a player that has had their own Kobe. Available 30th of the 6 in selected regions. Am I a selected region? That is it. Like, I don't really use sneakers anymore. Don't really play enough ball to get much use out of them. No, I'm not a selected region. I'm not a selected region, unfortunately. Unfortunately, I have to go continue to play. And I bought a pair of KD4s, the like Protro type KD4s. Like, they were awful.
This isn't a union meeting, it's a branding battle. And Caitlyn just got called up to the big leagues by the godfather of all sports marketing. And somewhere in this emotional haze, Aja does the social media dance, unfollows Caitlyn, then refollows her like she sat through a PR masterclass. Posts a vague quote about legacy not needing hype, then delete it. Classic crisis management meets petty vengeance. You could practically see the group chats begging her not to go full emoji war. Modern beef is digital, and Aja was dancing right on the line. And in practice, the vibes were complicated. You know those moments where everyone's being technically professional, but you can hear the emotional slapping through the silence? That. Elbow passes a little sharper. Defensive drills suspiciously intense. The trainer asked someone to cool down, and 3 players side-eyed at once. The drama wasn't just on the screen, it was bouncing off the backboard. Game day arrived like a soap opera finale. Every reporter, every camera, every fan waiting. Would Aja shake Caitlyn's hand? Would she block her so hard the ball files a restraining order? And the biggest question, would the ad play during halftime? Spoiler, it did. Twice. And both times, Aja blinked like she was watching the credits of a movie she wasn't cast in. Post-game interviews were colder than a protein bar in a snowstorm. Caitlyn kept it light. Aja went full textbook mode. Short answers, longer silences, and one eyebrow raise that'll live in meme form forever. No one mentioned the ad directly. They didn't have to. It was the third player in every conversation, the ghost at the press table.
Another thing that I personally loved, it's a Nike commercial, and they actually haven't done, I want to say, how many years has it been, Emma, since they've done? 27 years since they've done a Super Bowl commercial, and they came out swinging. This commercial was absolutely amazing. It had Asia Wilson, Caitlin Clark, Jordan Childs, Sophia Wilson-Smith, Sabrina Ionescu. I mean, and we could go down the line. There were so many women that were in this commercial. It had such an amazing and powerful message. You can't win, so win.
And the fans? Utterly divided. You'd think Caitlyn and Aja were running for office. Team Legacy versus Team Lightning Rod. It wasn't just basketball anymore. It was a full-blown identity crisis. Every stat was politicized, every promo dissected, and every time Caitlyn smiled during a timeout, someone accused her of throwing psychic shade. Other brands couldn't help themselves. Adidas tweeted a cryptic line about respecting those who paved the way. Under Armour posted a throwback to a true OG. The subtweets were flying like 3-pointers. Nike? Silent. Because when you've already won the week, you don't need to clap back. You just wait for the sales report. The WNBA released a bland statement about celebrating all players equally that read like it was AI generated from 2012. Meanwhile, PR teams were sweating through their collared polos, everyone publicly saying the right things. Privately, watching the metrics, engagement was through the roof. Drama, as it turns out, sells. Who knew? But behind all the posturing, something very real happened. The league shifted. Just a little. Just enough. One commercial, one newcomer, one moment where the cameras stopped caring who had more trophies and started caring who had more momentum. And Aja Wilson, she felt it. She saw it. And she absolutely, completely, undeniably lost it.